Many thanks for joining Liberty News at 6. In the headlines, Nigerian government to establish blood collection centers nationwide. Aguri Nglali resigned as President Tinubu's spokesman. OPay charges 50 naira transfer levy on transactions above 10,000 naira. Death toll from Kenyan school fire rises to 18. France to name sports center after slain Ugandan Olympian Cheptegei. Details of these and more will come to you in the bulletin. Hello and welcome to Liberty News. My name is Alamin Ibrahim. The federal government has announced plans to establish blood collection centers in all 774 local government areas, including the FCT, to establish and ensure availability of blood during medical emergencies and transfusions. Abdullahi Haruna, Head Media and Publicity, National Blood Service Agency, NBSA, made this known in a statement on Saturday in Abuja. Professor Saleh Yuguda, the Director General NBSA, while reiterating the government's commitment towards addressing blood shortages in the country, said the initiative will help in saving lives. Yuguda further explained that to kickstart the blood collection project, the FCT would host strategic blood collection facilities in easily accessible locations. The Special Advisor to President Bola Tinubu on Media and Publicity, Aguri Nglali, has proceeded on an indefinite leave of absence. Nglali said his decision was taken after significant consultations with his family over the past days as a vexatious medical situation had worsened. He made this known in a statement issued on Saturday, adding that he has sent a memo to the Chief of Staff to the President Femi Gbajabiamila. Nglali explained that he had also stepped down as the Special Presidential Envoy on Climate Action and Chairman of the Presidential Steering Committee on Project Evergreen. The leave of absence implies that he would temporarily suspend his duties as spokesperson to President Bola Tinubu. Federal government has reiterated commitment towards ensuring adequate training of competent educators to tech students across the country in local languages. The Minister of State for Education, Yusuf Sununu, gave the assurance to mark the 2024 International Literary Day held in Abuja. Liberty News correspondent Phoebe Kure has more on the report.
The International Literacy Day themed multilingual education, literacy for mutual understanding and peace, is aimed at promoting universal importance of literacy as a foundation for personal empowerment, social development, and global understanding.
Social cohesion and builds bridges across communities. In essence, it is a tool for peace building as it fosters dialogue and agreeable understanding among people of different linguistic and...
The State Minister for Education, Dr. Yusuf Sununu, says the team is out as it emphasized on the use of learners' mother's tongue in schools across the country.
By 2030, we must ensure that all youth and substantial proportion of adults, both men and women, achieve literacy and numeracy. Particular attention must be focused on the role of learners' first language in becoming literate.
Stakeholders in the education sector bear their minds on multilingual education, which will enable students communicate across cultural boundaries.
The teacher center of education, this is skills and vocational education. So this we are hammering it every day to ensure that we mobilize the partners.
It is imperative for every Nigerian, regardless of their linguistic background, to have access to quality education. Phoebe Kure in Abuja. Liberty News.
The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAM) has advised the National Association of Polytechnic Students (NAPS) to direct their grievances regarding the non-mobilization of some higher national diploma HND students for the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) to the appropriate authorities. Speaking during a meeting with the leadership of NAPS at the headquarters of the board in Buhari, Abuja, JAM Registrar Professor Ishak Oloide said the board does not oversee the admission of HND students and therefore has no role in their mobilization for the NYSC. Professor Oloide, who expressed surprise that JAM is being targeted by the association on the issue, described the action as born out of sheer ignorance of the mandate of the board. Oloide explained that JAM's mandate is limited to conducting examinations for admission into universities, National Diploma ND and Nigeria Certificate in Education NCE programs, not HND programs. Professor Oloide further explained that JAM admits students for national diploma programs, and once they graduate and seek HND admission, JAM has no further role as HND admissions are conducted by individual institutions. Oloide also addressed concerns over part-time polytechnic programs, stating that his criticism was only directed at daily part-time schemes designated to exploit students. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund (NELFund) has announced the receipt of 2 million naira through a bank draft from a former beneficiary of student loan, Adeboyega Awomolo. This is contained in a statement released by Mona Lisa Dike from the Corporate Communications Department of the fund. Dike said that Awomolo benefited from the loan during his undergraduate studies at the University of Ife between 1975 and 1977. According to her, the senior lawyer demonstrated his unwavering commitment to the nation by repaying the loan in full. She further said that Awomolo acknowledged the transparency and accountability that NELFund had demonstrated in its current management of student loans. The Edo State government has announced an indefinite postponement of resumption of all schools in the state over the hike in fuel price. The government announced this in a memo signed by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Ojo Akin Longje, in Benin on Saturday. The Permanent Secretary said the resumption schedule for September 9 was postponed until further notice. The Nigerian Labour Congress has stated that the Goodluck Jonathan and Muhammadu Buhari administrations were much better than the Bola Tinubu government. In an interview with newsmen, the NLC spokesperson Benson Upa said former President Buhari was accommodating and did everything humanly possible to ensure that life was stable and good. Condemning the removal of the fuel subsidy by Tinubu, Uba stated that the president did not think of the consequential effects of the pronouncement. The NLC spokesman also compared the exchange rate during the Jonathan administration to that of the current government. Minister of State Petroleum Henikin Lapobri says there is enough petroleum products in the country to be able to meet the demands of Nigerians. As such, there should be no panic buying. The minister stated this after a closed-door meeting with Vice President Kashim Shettima at the presidential villa. From State House Abuja, Hassan Umar Farouk has the details.
Millions of Nigerians over the high cost of the product. The minister said it is important for the citizens to know that the government is not in the business of fixing prices of petroleum products. The minister expressed confidence that though the prices may be higher in some parts of the country than others. But between now and the weekend, there will be availability of the product across the country.
Government is not fixing prices. This sector is deregulated, and we believe that with the availability of products, the price will find, its level. And we believe that between now and the weekend, there will be availability of products across.
Said all regulatory efforts are now geared towards stabilizing supply, with the result impact that will be positive also on the stability of the price.
To that objective, the regulator is ensured that there's increased operating hours from all loading depots. Vessels are being cleared promptly, and extended hours where safety can permit for truck outs as well. More importantly also is the reinforcement of the support being given to local refiners, because with increased production from them, indeed, like the minister has said, there will be higher supply, which will stabilize the price.
Also at the meeting with the Vice President and the Chief Executive Officer GCEO of the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited NNPCL, Mele Kyari, and the National Security Advisor Malam Nuhu Rubadu over the recent hike in the price of the petroleum motor spirit PMS, popularly known as petrol. From State House, Abuja, Hassan Umar Farouk for Liberty News.
The Nigerian police has said that President Bola Tinubu did not extend the tenure of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Igbetokun, as speculated. The first public relations officer, Muyiwa Adejobi, made this clarification in a statement in Abuja. He said the president instead gave his approval to the law governing the tenure of the office as required, adding that the IGP's appointment is for 4 years. Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service has inaugurated over 1,000 newly recruited Nigerian operatives in Umeri, Anambra East region. Otnel Musa reports that the Deputy Commander General Technical Service, Dr. John Meiji, said the action is to help the government in fighting insecurity. The report.
The deteriorating security situation in the southeast region may demand that enough personnel and capacity of those to fight such threat must be improved. The Anambra Command of the Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service has opted to strengthen its capacity to fighting insecurity with the inauguration of over 1,000 newly recruited operatives. The inauguration, which took place at Umeri, Otocha, Anambra East local government area, was done jointly by security agencies like the police, DSS, NSCDC, and others. Speaking to newsmen in Umeri after the inauguration, the Deputy Commander General Technical Service, Ambassador John Meche, hinted that the move was to ensure the locals are involved in fighting insecurity.
The exercise you just witnessed here, it's new intakes by the Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service. The intention is for us to collaborate and assist the government in fighting criminalities. It's very bad. So the people are all volunteers. They want to help in fighting crimes in their different communities. We have got over 1,000 personnel that has been recruited in the last 3 months. The areas we're going to be touching, we're going to be working in the forest, and because that's our main primary area, we're supposed to be in the forest.
Meche appealed to the federal government to back hunters with necessary legislation to help in tackling insecurity in the southeast.
The federal government is about to sign our bill. Mr. President, Senator Ahmed Tinubu, is really considering it. It's one of the areas that is at heart, how to sign our bill. And I'm sure that the next time the Senate resume, we're going to have good news coming from them.
It is with hope that the hunters will be backed by necessary legislation to enhance grassroots effort in crushing insecurity in the southeast. The question on everyone's lips is, could this just be the long-awaited solution to the security challenges bedeviling the southeast region and Nigeria at large? Otnel Musa, Liberty News.
Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) has warned the general public to be aware of fraudulent activities of scammers claiming to represent the NDC Youth Internship Scheme. The Commission also added that the registration for the scheme closed on August 31st, 2024. This was contained in a statement issued by the Commission's Director, Corporate Affairs, Seledi Thompson Wakama, and made available to newsmen. Wakama said the Commission received reports that several persons have been getting unsolicited messages stating that they have been selected for the NDDC internship scheme, accompanied by requests for personal information and an acceptance fee. He said the NDDC does not require any fees or payment for the placement of qualified youths in its internship program. Wakama further revealed that official communications from the Commission will always come from its verified websites and social media accounts, and urge Nigerians to disregard the fraudulent message and report it to the appropriate authorities. The Chairman House of Representatives Committee on Women Affairs, Kafilat Ogbara, has urged Nigerian youth to take advantage of the autonomy given to local government councils and participate fully in politics for overall interests of the people, as their participation would go a long way in bringing the needed change in their various communities. Representative Ogbara gave this advice on the sideline of the third edition of the Legislative Mentorship Initiative organized by the 10th House of Representatives.
For the local government autonomy that has been announced, they have to know that it's a better opportunity for them to go back and be charged after the training, to go to their localities, to go to their immediate environment and see how they can, start from the grassroots. They don't have to become no matter the political party they joined, you can be a councillor. It's very easy. Just go to your community and do the needful. Canvass, mobilize, campaign, and do what you need to do. Let people know you, let people recognize you, showcase yourself and show them the stuff you are made of. Definitely your community will vote for you. So that's a small space where you can take off from, and definitely they start their leadership, their political leadership from there.
Barely a month to the upcoming local government elections in Plateau State, Governor Caleb Mutfwang has dissolved the 17 Local Government Transition Implementation Committee chairman. Newsmen recall that the Transition Implementation Committee chairmen were constituted on June 9, 2023. The governor has directed directors of personnel management (DPMs) to take charge of the local councils until local government polls are held. The announcement was made in a press statement signed by the Director of Press and Public Affairs to the Governor, Gang Berry, in Jos, the Plateau State capital. The news is coming to you on Liberty Radio 103.3 FM. You can also listen to libertytvradio.com or via Android and iOS devices with the mobile app by searching for Liberty TV and Radio, or like our Facebook page, Liberty Radio 103.3 FM Abuja. Still to come, OPay charges 50 Naira transfer levy on transactions above 10,000 Naira. And death toll from Kenyan school fire rises to 18. And on sport, France to name Sports Center after slain Ugandan Olympian Cheptegei. Stand by for these and more after this break.
Dr. Ahmed Tijani Ramalan, the station's executive chairman. Much love. Salute. Issues in the news, can it be true? Voice for all. Liberty World News, Obodo Naija. Voice for all. Guest of the week, democracy in practice. Voice for all. Truba Democratia. Voice for all. Spotlight, health matter. Voice for all. Gamzati, magazine program. Voice for all. Labarun, Dunia. Voice for all. Movies and documentaries. Voice for all. We have numerous programs, but this is how far we can go. You can watch and listen to us online all over the world. Hey, with numerous awards, the #1 for Nigeria. Indigenous, bilingual news platform. From the north with national flavor. Liberty TV and radio, broadcast house of your choice. Voice for all. Liberty TV and radio, bilingual news platform. We are the voice for all. I enjoy the programs on Liberty TV. I love it.
Sure, now we get out.
Liberty. Only you they give the latest updates.
Glad you are still there. Welcome back. The news continues. OPE has announced a new charge on electronic transfers into personal and business accounts in compliance with Federal Inland Revenue Service regulations. In a notice to its customers on Saturday, OPE said starting September 9, 2024, a one-time fee of 50 Naira will be applied to transfers of 10,000 Naira and above. The company clarified that the charges are requirements from the government and not a source of revenue for the payment platform. The introduction of this fee follows the federal government's effort to generate revenue from electronic transactions through FIRS regulations. Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited (NNPCL) says the lifting of petrol from Dangote refinery would commence on September 15th to comply with the timeline provided by the refinery. It also assured that the present queues at filling stations would ease soon as measures are being implemented to ensure uninterrupted distribution across the length and breadth of the country. The company further stated that the foreign exchange forex illiquidity has been a significant factor influencing the fluctuation in prices of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, which are governed by unrestricted free market forces as provided for in the Petroleum Industry Act (PIA). Speaking on a national TV on Thursday, the Executive Vice President of Downstream NNPC Limited, Ade Dapo Shegun, explained that the current fuel scarcity was expected to subside in a few days as more stations recalibrate and begin selling PMS. Up next is business news.
Hello and welcome to Business Updates. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has stated that the recent hike in the price of premium motor spirit from 568 Naira per litre to 855 Naira will compound the rising cost challenge confronting the country's real sector. MAN, in a statement, said NNPCL's PMS price increase will harm the manufacturing sector, which had been struggling. The Director General of MAN, Shegun Ajayi Kadri, noted that the petrol oil price hike would lead to higher prices of other commodities in the face of the dwindling disposable income of the average Nigerian. He added that the manufacturing sector's vulnerability to the development included the rise in the cost of production and logistics, forcing manufacturers to increase their prices and risk a buildup of unsold inventory and reduced capacity utilization, which will potentially lead to a downturn in manufacturing performance. The Bank of Industry (BOI) has successfully raised €1.425 billion from the senior phase of its global loan syndication to boost financing for Nigeria's businesses. The deal, which received a 42.5% oversubscription from international financial markets, meant its position as a key player in financing Nigeria's industrial and private sectors. Data showed that the largest loan syndication the bank ever did were €1 billion in 2020 and 2022 respectively, and successfully repaid in July 2024. Olasupo Olusi, the managing director and chief executive officer of BOI, in a statement said that the latest loan syndication shows a significant vote of confidence from foreign investors in both the BOI and Nigeria's economic prospects. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has disclosed that the flourishing economic partnership trade between Africa and China has grown exponentially, reaching an estimated $280 billion. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the 2024 summit of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation (FOCSE) at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing, President Tinubu highlighted the success of the China-Africa partnership as a model for sustainable development and shared prosperity. In his remarks, President Xi Jinping announced $50 billion in financial support for the continent in addition to military aid. The Chinese leader also pledged another $280 million with Africa. According to President Xi, the 10 actions to be implemented in the next 3 years cover areas of mutual learning among civilizations, trade prosperity, industrial chain cooperation, connectivity, development cooperation, health, agriculture and livelihoods, people-to-people and cultural exchanges, green economic development and common securities. And that's the size of our package for Business Update. I am Thomas Denladi Kutada. Liberty News continue.
On the foreign scene, Kenyan police stepped up their investigation Saturday into a prime school dormitory blaze that has now cost the lives of 18 boys as families faced an agonizing wait for news of their missing loved ones. The flames engulfed a dormitory at the primary school where more than 150 boys aged between 9 and 13 were sleeping. Presidential spokesman Isaac Umwara said 18 children had died in the blaze at the school in the central county of Nyeri, up from a previous toll of 17 given by President William Ruto on Friday. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua had said on Friday that 70 youngsters were still unaccounted for after the fire. The cause of the inferno is not yet known, but homicide investigators and forensic experts are at the school where media access has been blocked. Still on the foreign scene, the United Nations has called for a full investigation into the killing of a U.S. Turkish woman in the occupied West Bank during a protest on Friday. Local media reported that Aysenur Ezgi Igi, 26, was shot dead by Israeli forces as she took part in a weekly protests against Jewish settlement expansion in the town of Beta near Nablus. Israel's military said it was looking into reports that a foreign national was killed as a result of shots fired in the area. Ms. Igi's family said in a statement they were in shock and grief that the loving and fiercely passionate human rights activist was gone. The family said video showed she was killed by a bullet from an Israeli military shooter and called for the U.S. to investigate. The United States has urged Israel to investigate the incident, as Shen Savet, spokesman for the White House National Security Council, said Washington was deeply disturbed by the tragic death of an American citizen. A person in the state of Missouri has become the first in the United States to test positive for bird flu without a known exposure to infected animals, authorities said. The adult patient, who has underlying conditions, was admitted to hospital on August 22, received antiviral medications against influenza, then recovered and was discharged, according to statements from the Centers for Control and Disease Prevention and Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. Authorities further disclosed that because the patient's flu type appeared suspicious on an initial test, it was sent for additional testing in state and federal laboratories, which revealed that the flu was H5, also known as avian flu or bird flu. All previous bird flu cases in the United States have been among farm workers, including the very first in 2022. Bird flu is most commonly found in wild birds and poultry, but has more recently been detected in mammals, with a cattle outbreak seen across the country this year. More international news is coming up next.
International news. A very good day. Parents have been waiting anxiously to find if their missing children are still alive. They are praying and hoping for the best, he said. 14 children have been taken to hospital with injuries. President William Ruto called the fire and devastating and has ordered an investigation. Those responsible will be held to account, Mr. Ruto wrote on social media. A team of investigators, including forensics experts, were deployed to the school, police said. The blaze spread very fast as most of the buildings in the school were made up of timber, according to a journalist from one of the local media stations. Local official Samson Wangi Mwema told the media the rescue operation was difficult. And in France, protests are taking place across France over the nomination of right-wing Michel Barnier as a new prime minister after an inconclusive election in which the left won the largest number of seats. More than 100 protests are expected to take place on Saturday, with people already on the streets in the cities including Bordeaux, Nice and Le Mans. The demonstrations were called by trade unions and left-wing political parties, whose own candidates for prime minister was rejected by President Emmanuel Macron. Mr. Barnier, the EU's former Brexit negotiator, said he is open to forming a government with politicians across the political spectrum, including the left. Jean-Luc Mélenchon, a veteran firebrand from the Radical France Unbowed party, called for the most powerful mobilization possible in national marches. Around 130 protests are being held, with the biggest setting out from central Paris this afternoon. Other cities staging protests include Marseille and Lyon. The demonstrators are using slogans such as denial of democracy and stolen elections. Parties on the left are angry that their own candidate for Prime Minister, Lucie Castex, was rejected by Mr. Macron, who said she had no chance of surviving a vote of confidence in the National Assembly. Mr. Barnier may be able to survive a confidence vote because the far right, which also won a large number of seats, has said it will automatically vote against him. And finally, from Vietnam, Super Typhoon Yagi, the most powerful storm in Asia this year, has made landfall in the northern Vietnam. The storm hit Hai Phong and Quai Ninh provinces with winds up to 203 kilometers per hour on Saturday morning. The Indo-Pacific tropical cyclone warning center said. In Haiphong, news agency reports metal roof sheets and commercial signboards were seen flying across the city. One man was killed after winds brought down a tree, the agency said. It comes after Yagi wreaked havoc on the island of Hainan and a popular tourist destination dubbed China's Hawaii on Friday. At least 3 people have died in China due to the storm and nearly 100 injured. The city of Haiphong on the coast of northern Vietnam has a population of 2 million and has faced the brunt of the storm. Power outages hit parts of the city, home to multinational factories, on Saturday, while 4 of the North's airports have suspended operations for much of the day. Nearly 50,000 people have been evacuated from coastal towns in Vietnam, with authorities issuing a stay indoors warning. Schools have been closed down in 12 provinces, including in the capital, Hanoi. On Friday, China evacuated some 400,000 people in Hainan Island ahead of Yagi's arrival. Trains, boats, and flights were suspended while schools were shut. Local media reported widespread power outages with about 830,000 households affected. Valuable crops have also been wiped out. Videos on Chinese social media show windows being ripped out from tower blocks on Hainan. Scientists say typhoons and hurricanes are becoming stronger and more frequent with climate change. Warmer ocean waters mean storms could pick up more energy, which leads to higher wind speeds. And that's about the much we can take on today's international news. My name is Andy Ohene. More news is coming your way.
From international news, we link you up with entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News. Following the release of her debut LP, Tems has embarked on the Born in the World tour, where she has dazzled fans with performance of her charting songs. In the New York leg of her Born in the World tour, Tems has joined on stage. Tems have joined on stage by sensational superstar Ira Star for a surprising performance. The duo, cheered by the crowd, performed together in a moment that showcased their friendship and support for each other. America Grammy-winning star John Legend also made a guest appearance at Tems' New York concert, where both stars delighted the audience with a rendition of his hit single, Ordinary People. While Tems and Ira Star are yet to collaborate, many fans, including Rihanna, are looking forward to the song, with the 9-time Grammy winner expressing her readiness to jump on the track with the Nigerian stars. Tems and Ira Star are 2 of Nigeria's finest global exports, whose music has won them millions of fans and notable awards. Rising Nigerian star Rich Merck has officially released his debut single, The Go. This upbeat song is about staying strong and never giving up, even when things are tough. It's a message of hope and encouragement for Nigerians facing challenges. With The Go, Merck wants to inspire people to keep going no matter what. The song's catchy tune and inspiring lyrics will make you feel motivated and ready to overcome anything. Rich Merck is a talented musician. He's passionate about creating music that inspires and uplifts people. Rich Homie Quirk passed away on September 5, 2024. It's a sad day for American music, especially the hip-hop community, which has lost one of its own in Rich Homie Quirk. According to news circulated online, the rapper reportedly died from a drug overdose. Label boss Young Thor, who is facing RICO charges over running a gang responsible for several murders. Some celebrities have posted about Rich Homie Quirk passing, including rapper Bossy, whose post on X confirmed the report of an overdose being responsible for Quirk's demise. Kwang was a member member of the Young Stoner life record owned by Atlanta rapper Young Thug. The late rapper is popular for the hit song Type of Way, Flex and Lifestyle, on which he appeared alongside Young Thug and Batman. He also released nearly 20 albums in a career that spanned over a decade. Thanks for listening. I am the lady with her eyes and ears out for juicy entertainment stories. Until I come your way in our next segment, Elizabeth Masha. Do enjoy the rest of the news.
Paris Mayor and Hidalgo announced plans to name a sports venue in Cheptegei's honor, ensuring her memory endures and symbolizing the message of equality promoted by the Olympic and Paralympic Games. Cheptegei, who competed in the women's marathon at the Paris Olympics, was killed after being set on fire by her partner, leaving the world in shock. Police said a man identified as Dixon Indima Marangach had doused Cheptegei with petrol and set her alight at her home in Ndibes in the western county of Trans-Nzoia. Cheptegei 33 made her Olympic debut in the women's marathon at the Paris Games, where she finished 44th. Police and doctors say she was left with 80% burns after being attacked in front of her children on Sunday by her Kenyan partner Dixon Indima Marangach. And still in sports, Nigeria's Falconets will look to scale a place in the second round at the 2024 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup when they take on Venezuela at the Estadio Olímpico Pascual Guerrero Cali, Colombia today. Chris Danjuma's side started with campaign with a hard-earned 1-0 victory over Korea Republic. The West Africans, however, stumbled 3-1 to Germany in the next game. The Falconets occupy second position in Group D and need to beat the Venezuelans to be sure of a place in the knockout round. Until talking sports, Nigeria's Flora Ungungwa has won a silver medal in women's javelin F54 at the ongoing Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. She finished second in the event with a throw of 19.26 meters behind an Uzbekistan athlete who set a world record with a draw of 21.12 meters. Ogungwa's feat has made Nigeria's rake in the first medal in para-athletics with a total medal of 4 so far. The 40-year-old Nigerian has continued to shine, having now won 3 consecutive Paralympic medals, 2 golds in Rio and Tokyo, and now silver in Paris. Nigeria's Premier Football League MPFL side Bayelsa United have unveiled their new kits for the 2024-25 season. The new kits were officially unveiled at the Samson Siasia Stadium Yenogua on Friday. The away kit is designed in white and blue stripes. The kits are engraved with the name of the Prosperity Boys and the MPFL logo on the sleeve. Bayelsa United would battle with Sunshine Stars in their opening fixture of the new season. The encounter will take place at the Otumba Depot Dina Stadium in Djibouti on Sunday. For more sport news, we now link you up with our sport desk.
Welcome to Sport News. Nigerian Sport Minister Senator John Owaeno has celebrated Oyechi Mark's extraordinary achievement at 2024 Paris Paralympics, competing in the women's 51 kg para-powerlifting category. Mark not only secured Nigeria's first gold medal of the Games, but also set a world record by lifting 150 kg, while this surpassed her previous world record of 147 kg, which she has set during the same competition. Senator Eno, in his congratulatory message, hailed her performance as phenomenal, emphasizing that she has not only hosted Nigerian flag high, but also embodied the resilient spirit of the nation. Her triumph has brought immense pride and joy to Nigerians. Mark's success continues to inspire, and especially as she has now broken the world record 3 times in her category 146 kg and 147 kg, and now 150 kg, solidifying her dominance in the sport. Her performance has set a new standard for para-athletes and inspired new generation to 75, 76, 62, winning all 3 sets during their semi-final final clash on September 6. The match lasted over 3 hours. Saw Draper struggle with physical issues, including vomiting on the court due to illness. Despite those challenges, Draper put a valiant fight, but Sinner consistency and aggressive play, including for 3 winners, proved too much for the British player. Sinner, who also injured his wrist during the match, managed to maintain time in the final set as Teofo appeared fatigued. Fritz win advanced him to the US Open final, meeting Yannick Sinner, making him the first American man to reach a Grand Slam final since 2009. Finally on sport, the report of tension between Chelsea co-owner Todd Bodley and Clearly Capital, the private equity firm that hold the majority stake in the club. Relationship between Bodley and Clearly Bede has reportedly deteriorated over disagreement about club operations, including recruitment strategy and poor on-field performance despite significant investment. While both parties are considering buying each other out, with Clearly Capital potentially looking to increase its ownership, while Bodley might be exploring its option to sell its share. However, despite those internal issues, both sides remain publicly committed to Chelsea's long-term success and professional management of the club. That's all on Sport Amodio Musa, Liberty News.
And with that sports story, we end the news. But before we take leave of you, here is a recap. We told you Nigerian government to establish blood collection centers nationwide.